Hello and welcome to a societal intervention disguised as a Facebook video. Let's talk about emotional intelligence, or EQ, because frankly, the state of humanity suggests many of us could use a crash course. It's the ability to understand and manage your emotions, read the room, and respond to situations with grace and maturity, which, let's be honest, is about as common as finding a unicorn riding a Segway these days. Exhibit A, the passive-aggressive texter. We've all encountered this specimen in the digital wilderness. They lurk in our message threads, leaving us puzzled and sometimes even frustrated. You know, the type masters of the one-letter response, the vague booking champion, the ones who leave you hanging with a simple K, the I'm fine when they're clearly about as fine as a house on fire. Their messages are a maze of hidden meanings and unspoken words. High EQ, however, takes a deep breath and says, let's address this head on. Hey, I'm feeling a bit ignored by that response. Can we talk about it? It's about opening a dialogue and clearing the air. Sometimes you don't have the emotional bandwidth for a full-blown conversation, and that's perfectly okay, but here's a revolutionary idea. How about saying, let's find a better time to talk. Hey, I'm swamped right now, but can we chat later? It's simple, direct, and respectful. Because let's face it, decoding passive-aggressive text is about as fun as trying to assemble IKEA furniture with missing instructions. Frustrating, time-consuming, and likely to end in tears. So let's communicate better and save ourselves the headache. Next up, we have the social media shade thrower. These individuals have elevated subtweeting to an Olympic sport. High EQ, my friends, takes a different approach. It recognizes that real relationships aren't built on cryptic Instagram captions. Instead of resorting to digital warfare, a high EQ individual picks up the phone, sends a private message, and addresses the issue directly with the person involved. If you have an issue with someone, talk to them directly. Don't air your dirty laundry online like you're auditioning for a reality TV show. The public meltdown at Starbucks. A classic tale of first-world problems meeting a complete lack of emotional regulation. High EQ, on the other hand, takes a deep breath, remembers that the world doesn't revolve around their coffee order and politely asks for a fix. Because guess what? Most baristas are actually decent human beings who are happy to help, as long as you don't treat them like they're personally responsible for your existential dread. Remember folks, there's a fine line between being assertive and being an asshole. And let's not forget the chronic excuse maker. These masters of deflection are quicker to blame Mercury retrograde for their bad behavior than to take any actual responsibility for their actions. High EQ, however, calls bullshit on this cosmic cop-out. It understands that while external factors may influence our moods, they don't absolve us from taking accountability for our choices. Owning up to your mistakes doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. So the next time you're tempted to blame the universe for your bad behavior, remember this: the only thing retrograde is your emotional maturity. Let's talk about the friend who ghosts. You know the one, they were all, hey girl, let's hang out. And then poof, vanished faster than a politician's promise during an election year. High EQ understands that communication is key, even when it's uncomfortable. A simple text saying, hey, I need a little space right now, but I'll reach out soon, can make all the difference. It's about acknowledging the other person's feelings and giving them the courtesy of closure, even if it's just a digital post-it note. Next up, we have the oversharer at work. These walking HR violations mistake the office water cooler for a therapy couch, treating their colleagues to unsolicited updates on their love lives, gastrointestinal issues, and existential crises. High EQ, however, understands that boundaries are crucial, especially in a professional setting. Save the deep dives for your actual therapist, your best friend, or maybe a very understanding houseplant. The jealous partner. A classic tale of insecurity disguised as love. High EQ, however, understands that trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship. It recognizes that jealousy is often a reflection of our own insecurities, not necessarily our partner's actions. Instead of resorting to suspicion and control, a high EQ individual addresses their feelings of insecurity with honesty and vulnerability. Remember folks, relationships aren't about possession, they're about partnership. And then there's the holiday family feud. The holidays. A time for joy, togetherness, and passive-aggressive jabs at your siblings over Aunt Mildred's famous casserole. High EQ, however, recognizes that the holidays are an opportunity for connection, not combat. Instead of dredging up the past or engaging in petty squabbles, a high EQ individual chooses to focus on the present moment, practicing gratitude for the people in their lives, flaws, and all. Forgive your family, embrace the chaos, and pass the gravy. Let's talk about the road rage maniac. This is the person who turns the simple act of driving into a high-stakes drama. These four-wheeled emotional terrorists treat their vehicles like weapons, transforming the daily commute into a gladiatorial combat zone. They honk, they shout, and they cut off other drivers, all in a misguided attempt to assert dominance on the road. High EQ, however, understands that road rage is a sign of misplaced anger, not a valid form of communication. It's an emotional outburst that can lead to dangerous situations both for the driver and others on the road. Instead of letting their emotions drive their behavior, a high EQ individual practices patience, understanding that everyone makes mistakes, even on the road. They know that staying calm and composed is the key to a safer and more pleasant driving experience. So take a deep breath, turn up the radio, and remember that arriving at your destination in one piece and with your sanity intact is far more important than proving your point in a vehicular shouting match. After all, the road is meant to be shared, not conquered. And finally, we have the gossip spreader. This individual thrives on the latest rumors and juicy tidbits, always eager to share the latest scoop, regardless of the consequences. These social parasites thrive on drama, feeding off the misfortunes of others like emotional vampires. They often don't realize the damage they cause, leaving a trail of hurt feelings and broken trust in their wake. High EQ, however, understands that true connection comes from empathy and support, not tearing others down. They know that building genuine relationships requires kindness and understanding. Instead of engaging in harmful rumors, a high EQ individual chooses to lift others up, offering words of encouragement, celebrating their successes, and providing a shoulder to lean on during difficult times. They create a positive environment where everyone feels valued and respected. So the next time you're tempted to spread gossip, ask yourself, would you want someone saying those things about you? Reflect on the impact your words can have on others. If the answer is no, then put a lid on it and find a more constructive way to channel your energy. Engage in activities that promote personal growth and foster positive connections. Congratulations! You've made it to the end of our emotional intelligence crash course. Now you're equipped to navigate the world with a little more grace, empathy, and self-awareness. High EQ is a well-tuned GPS guiding you through the chaos of life with fewer wrong turns and meltdowns. The bottom line: emotional intelligence isn't just a skill, it's a superpower. Master your emotions, and you'll not only elevate your life, but also inspire others to do the same.